Hello and welcome. I am Dogbert here to give you my DD6 recommendation, which are subject to change. Now, why am I saying subject to change? Well, because we don't know what the nodes will look like in terms of characters and whatever fuckery they have decided to give these characters or conditions on the nodes, aka scourges. We don't know. We don't know what they're going to have. And I'll explain some of the alternatives, why I think characters are being the alternative, or maybe why, we don't know what these fuckeries going to look like. And plus, don't forget, new characters come out, they could surpass these characters very quickly. And by the time that normal people get to DD6, it will probably be a shit ton of new characters that will take their place anyway. Unless you're a whale or kraken, you probably aren't finishing DD6 anytime soon. So, let's start with the first section of this Dark Dimension is going to be global. Now, my suggested team right now is Spider-Weaver, Captain Carter, Captain America, Winter Soldier, believe it or not, and Apocalypse. Now, probably much the only character that is probably safe to build out of all of these characters if you want to gear 18 somebody now because you're insane and just have no patience would be Apocalypse. Because he actually can be used in two sections, not just this global, but there is a legendary horseman section that you can use him as well. Spider-Weaver is probably the next safest character, still used in Mystic raids. She's not used in the arena, but she's still an incredibly powerful character, still changes the game. Captain Carter, Captain America, and Winter Soldier are all part of the current Bio Raid team, and they're actually quite good together. Now, once you bring Captain America and Captain Carter, you have to kind of bring those two together as a pair to really make the team work. Winter Soldier can be very easily replaced with Agent Venom, although I do give Winter Soldier higher points because he has lower cooldowns than Agent Venom. That's something you're going to have to take into account if you rather do Agent Venom over Winter Soldier. And generally speaking, people have 7-star Winter Soldiers. They don't have Agent Venom yet because, he was only released in January, so that means we have at least another year and a half to go before he's farmable, right? Anyway, let's look at the alternatives. The biggest alternative here, I think, that could be getting fucked over is Emma. I suspect there will be Apocalypse out here on this node to make sure that we can't use her. So, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to really be using her. But if they don't do that, she is a good alternative. Nemesis is an incredible character in Dark Dimensions. Fortunately, he got pushed out because of the way this team works up here, but he is incredibly good of his health steal. Essentially, if you want to do the Gamma characters, you're going to have to bring all three together. They work best like that. Dr. Doom, still an amazing character. Does 6 turns he gets with his ultimate. Still has high consideration. And don't forget, he is Mystic/Tech, so you don't have to use all the same gear on him. Gambit likes to sit there and just ping away. You're probably going to already gear 17 him anyway, so he's a good choice as well. And the other choice is Quicksilver, another Mystic character though. The reason why I like him, he gets those 2 turns, plus he has Scarlet Witch should he fall below 50%. That's an extra character that can actually help heal your team as well. That is something to think about. But depending on the fuckery, who knows? Maybe with the reworks to Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man, maybe they'll be good now in Dark Dimension, like they were supposed to supposedly be. We'll see. As for Cosmic, this is the latest section of alternatives right now. I'll go explain that in a minute. But Cosmic pretty much comes down to the Eternals. Don't forget the Eternals have callouts for Dark Dimension that they get extra abilities, kind of like in the arena. Kestrel, you already got her at gear 17 more than likely. That's will take her to gear 18. She's still a phenomenal character despite her age. Now, Dormammu is the character I think is most likely to be fucked over. They have a hard-on for fucking Dormammu over. Just take a look at the Mystic raids and the Incursion raids right now. They want to fuck him over hard. So I suspect he'll be the one that gets replaced first. And of course, Kang. I don't foresee them doing anything to Kang. He's too new. They're still trying to make money off of him. I suspect Kang will do incredibly well and keep doing well. Now, those alternatives right now, the only 2 I list are Hela, who's still an amazing character, got with that rework, and of course Deathpool, who you had to bring up for Apocalypse anyway. Now, I suspect there's going to be more characters coming into the alternative category, if not moving up into the recommended category, because I suspect there's going to be more Asgardians coming, and they would be cosmic. Of course, we also have the new Nowhere team, where you use them nowhere. We'll see if Star-Lord Annihilation, Thor Infinity Watch, or if Cosmo can break into this category. We'll have to wait and see. Need to test them out yet. Can't recommend them yet. So we'll wait and see on that one. Besides, by the time you actually get to here, we'll probably know more than ever. As for City, this is probably the lightest category. Actually, I got that wrong with Cosmic being the lightest. Nope, it's City. And the recommended team is still Squirrel Girl, Hoodie and Dildo, Kingpin, and Gwenpool. Although you can replace Gwenpool for Shang-Chi, do not bring in Firestar. Do not build Firestar. She sucks. She's the turd of the team for a reason. But Gwenpool and Hoodie and Dildo all work very well together because Gwenpool gives them much needed survivability. They give Gwenpool some healing. Kingpin is there. Those minions, they come in quite handy. Notice that Spider-Man 2099 has dropped off, with him not being really used in the arena, only really used in Cosmic Crucible. He's a good, decent character, but I can't tell anybody to invest in him. Shang-Chi is still quite good, but he got moved down to the alternatives because of him getting knocked out of the skill raid. Squirrel Girl can be still a bit of a stretch, but her kit is still phenomenal, and what she does in Dark Dimensions is still great. Although we could get fucked over, but City seems to be the weakest we have for any of the Dark Dimension characters, period. It's just a very weak roster at this point. Now we go into the next node, which is Legendary Non-Horsemen. That's very important. You can't use Horsemen whatsoever. Now, the first 4 characters here are pretty solid bets. That is Shuri. Shuri got multiple reworks with the Wakandans. She gives out energy. She heals. She's absolutely amazing. Nick Fury finally got a rework. His minions are great. You're going to have to use him for the skill raids anyway. He's an obvious choice. Nova, the newest legendary. I suspect there will be Red Hulks out here. We probably want his battlefield effect to override that. And that'll give us some more healing. He, of course, newest legendary also doesn't hurt. Omega Red, older legendary, but still an amazing kit. Especially when you're talking Dark Dimension, he does steal health. And the last character I put in as the 5th is actually Dr. Octopus. Now, he is actually quite tanky and survivable. Plus, he brings Shocker with him. Would be great to see him get a rework in the future, but because of his little bit lower costs and stuff, he could be a very useful character. He can heal up quite nice. He does block quite a bit. Now, if I was going to replace Dr. Octopus, the other one would be Adam Warlock, but he would have a higher cost, be another Mystic character. We have a lot of Mystic characters we have to gear up anyway. Maybe that's kind of why he get pushed down here. And the other 2 alternatives or Invisible Woman and Jubilee, though I would really, really like to stay away from those 2. They are just way too old of characters, but they can do well in Dark Dimensions. Jubilee is hard to even keep alive in DD5. I don't see her being any easier to keep alive in DD6. And finally, the last one is Legendary, which you can actually use the Horseman. But technically, you could use the last 4 of those other legendary characters, 4 other legendary characters, such as Shuri, Nick Fury, Nova, and Omega Red. Remember, those are the 4 I said were my best. And just throw Apocalypse with them and try to get through this on your first run. And then bring up the 4 Horsemen with Apocalypse for your second run. I suspect these nodes will be absolute fuckery. It'll be very, very difficult and very, very bad time unless you bring the 4 Horsemen and Apocalypse. That means building all those characters. I suspect people will probably be doing those 4 legendaries with Apocalypse. Get through the first run and bring the 4 Horsemen on the second run. That's what I suspect. The Horsemen are already going to be gear 17, so bringing them to 18 makes perfect sense. 3 out of the 4 Horsemen are used in Arena. Get fucked. What's his? Archangel. Yes, get fucked, Archangel. You suck in Arena. Great raids, though. Pretty much everywhere else, just not in Arena. So those are my picks for now. Subject to change. We'll see how it all lines up. And until next time, everybody.